Hi Julia Watts here, welcome to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be looking at the new Sentimentally Yours Florascript collection. I'm just going to be playing around. We're a bit tight for time for getting everything ready, so I just thought I'd film the process into what's into my brain, and then we'll pause and then I'll do the rest at some point. Hopefully it's invisible to you, but anyway, you'll be able to find the products over on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk if I've got any left, and also over at honeypotcrafts.co.uk. So you can only get them from myself, from Honeypot Crafts, and from the TV, from Hobby Maker. So I'm looking at Florascript Beautiful Blooms Paraphernalia, which is an A5 stamp set. And Phil's done this, so you've got like 3 main focal images here with the same flower. That's a bit because I've used it. And then you've got filler in little stamps around, and you've got a couple of borders as well, and some icons which are really useful to go in the corners of frames and things. You've got postage on there, numbers, loads of butterflies. Really packed stamp set, really lovely, and it will work with some other work well with some other products that are going to be coming up in the next couple of months. So anyway, the process will be, oh, and I'm going to use this as well, Shabby Polka 6x6 stencil, which is a new stencil. I may well bring in the other one as well, which is this one, Beautiful Fanfare, and you can see that that icon is the same as the one in the stamp as well. So I may well use that one. I don't know where I'm headed at the minute, but I just, as I said, short for time, so I thought we'd just kind of go with the process. So first of all, what I did was I stamped this main image here onto a piece of masket sheet, and immediately lost one of the little leaves when I cut it out. So hopefully we will keep hold of those. I'm going to put those on the stencil actually, so we don't lose them. And then we're going to stamp the main image onto a piece of super smooth watercolour card, and this is just an A5 piece. So I don't really know where I'm going. If nothing else, this will be a techniques video. Who knows what I'm going to do? I certainly don't. No idea. So as always, into a stamping platform, butt it up into the corner, then you can actually pop it down again. I think this will probably end up as a square card at some point, but who knows? Who knows what sort of frame I'm going to put around it? I don't know. Making it up as we go along. There is already an image, a smaller image with script around it, but I'm going to fill in around this one and just show you how easy it is to do it. If you're stamping on masket sheet, I would suggest that you use an archival because it dries quicker. So if you're impatient and want to cut it out quickly, use Jet Black Archival. As I said, it dries quicker. Be careful if you use Versafine, because it's going to go all over your fingers because it stays wet. There's nothing wrong with using Versafine, but you know, like I say, you might not want to. So this is going to go just in the centre because I don't know where I'm going yet with it. And we're going to use Nocturne, Versafine, Clair. Lots of tapping. Really easy images to colour in. I haven't coloured it in yet, that's something else I've got to do. All I've done is stamped it onto the masket sheet. So this is, you know, brand new thoughts here. I am aware that the table box, I'm sure, sorry about that. And look at that. Perfect image. No problem. Okay, let's just clean that off a bit. Put it away. And more shaking of the camera. When you use archival, you will find that you won't get it off your stamp unless you use an archival cleaner, which is available on my website, I believe. Let's fetch that out. I'll leave that on there for a minute because I don't need to put it away just at the moment. Or shall we use? No, let's just black mark. Where's that come from? Right, we won't be using that bit. Right, so let's take, now you need to bear in mind as well that that ink is wet. Actually, let's just see if we can blot a little bit of it off with a bit of kitchen roll, because it goes on the underside of your masket sheet, which is a little bit annoying. Not much has come off, if any. Oh, dirty mark. Just when I don't need one. So it doesn't have to be perfect. Do cut it out inside the line so that when we put it on, it'll be a little bit smaller than the stamped image. And if you keep your carrier sheet, you can pop it back on there later on. It goes here. You might have to faff around a little bit to get it in the right position. But that's gone on pretty well, actually. Doesn't want to stick because the ink's wet. And then we've got these teeny tiny leaves. We've got one teeny one and one even teenier. Always a bit of a faff trying to get the back off. Especially when it's tiny, because there's nothing to hold on to. Here we go. See if I can not lose that. That one's going to go in here because it's got just a little line there, and I didn't want to kind of just try and cut the stem. You don't need to worry about the stems. Talk amongst yourselves while I'm trying to get the back off of this. I nearly had it. There it is. And I don't hold out much hope for being able to find that again, or being able to get it on there. Can't even get off my finger. I think it's gone. Right. There's my tweezers. I'm going to use tweezers for this. There it is. It's stuck on my finger there. Got to do it. Where is it? There it is. Put that there. I might have even done another dirty mark there. I've just re-inked my Versafine Clair, which was probably a bad idea. I'll keep that one. Right, so let's bring in stencils. So we've got this one here. I think we'll do this one first. And this is the Shabby Polka. And I've got a selection of distress inks. I've got Antique Linen, Bundled Sage and Kitsch Flamingo. So let's go with a bit of Antique Linen first of all, which seems to have glitter on it. Don't know why, but it has. Have a little bit of this. Is it coming through? It is, just a little bit. It's quite nice. This stencil smells of new stencil. Have you ever sniffed your stencils? I don't actually recommend it, but you can tell that they're new when they come out the pack. It's like having a new book or a new paper pad. That's quite nice. I like that. Do I want to go all over? Let's go all over, because we're going to layer it up with something else. It doesn't matter if I don't get it all, because I don't know where I'm going with this yet. I might mention that. And I've actually positioned it so that the stem is in the middle of that, so that's not going to get smudged. That's good. I think that'll do. Very subtle, or subtle. Let's hold that up. Ignore that dirty mark, but you can see that. So that's a bit of Antique Linen. Then I am going to bring in that other stencil as well, because I really like this stencil, but we're not going to do all over with this. We're just going to do where it's quite light there. Let's bring in that. Let's bring in a bit of Kitsch Flamingo. We do want it to be straightish. Like that. And we'll have a down here. That kind of works. Happy with that. I'm not happy with that at all. That's quite subtle, isn't it? I do want a little bit of bundled sage. I think I want a little bit of bundled sage because it's going to tie in with when I actually colour in the leaves. Bundled sage. Do I want more dots? No, I don't want more dots. Let's have this. The thing about masking is that it's quite nice when you get the reveal. So I've got dots on there, I've got that on there. I wonder if I can get rid of that mark. Let's just put that. See if we can, let's get that on a jobby. Yep. Where's that dirty mark? There it is. I'm not going to hide it, am I? That's a little bit hidden. Right, so that's going to wash off nicely because it's a wash based ink. Okie dokie. So now we're going to fill in with some stamping around it as well, and we've got lots of stamps on this that we can use. And I'm going to grab the foam from underneath here, so that we can magnets, so that we can just have a bit of cushion. It's quite nice to be able to have that. And let's have a play with some stamps. I like this postmark one here, so I think we're going to go with this. Some of this might get hidden by if I put a frame around it, or if when I die cut it, or trim it, or whatever. But let's have that. I don't know why I'm doing this, because we're going to use a block anyway. Because it's a background, I'm not worried about whether it's perfect or not. And let's go for a bit of Sand Dune Versafine Clair. Who doesn't love a good postmark? Don't forget, there is, from the Notebook Botanicals, there is the postmark Paraphernalia stamp as well, which is really a really cool stamp. I'm trying to do this one straight because it looks like it needs to be straight. That's cool. Like that. There's going to be a lot of stamp cleaning in between doing this. Right, that's that one. I love being able to make my own collage. We've got little butterflies here as well as the big ones. So what we could do, because there is actually a stamp, I'll show you. There is actually a stamp here, which is the Florascript Beautiful Blooms medley, and a lot of the elements that are on here are on the stamp set as well, this stamp set. You've got some little butterflies there, so we can bring in a little butterfly if we want to and have it kind of up there. So we could do this in black actually. Where's my black? There's my black. And then regret the fact that we're not in the stamping platform because it's a silhouette stamp. But we're not gonna even go there. We're not gonna even worry about that. We're gonna just stamp a butterfly there. Give it a chance to settle into the card. There we go. Perfect. And we could even do one down here as well. God, I've got ink all around my block. Hang on, 1, 2, 3. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. And so these don't want to stick because the ink underneath is wet. So be careful if you want to use it again straight away. It could be that the ink's wet and you'd smudge it on your next project. So just be aware of that. That's a little butterfly. Where's my stamp set? There it is. So let's get rid of that. Right. Let's put the lid back on the sand dune in a minute. Stamp set there, right in front of me. Getting carried away now. Right, so what else can we have? What else is on here? Oh, I like those. Those are cool. We've also got the clock. So let's bring in the clock. We've got another profile here as well. I like the clock. This is one of the blocks that you can get in the slimline block set. Let's have it so that the clock is up the right way. Where do I want the clock? I might want the clock just over there like that. What colour should we do the clock in? I think we'll be doing that in Sand Dune as well. It doesn't actually matter whether it's straight or not. Overlapping a bit. Now the reason why you cut on the inside of the line when you cut your mask out is so that when you do stamp over the top of the image, you actually should go right up to the image. We'll see when we do the reveal. And let's see. I do think I want to use that other postmark because I really like that. Stick. Which way? I don't know which way up it goes. Which way up does it go? Oh, there's the Eiffel Tower. Okay. Where might we put that? I don't know whether we want to have it actually. Let's have it over there, right up there. Obviously you can stamp them more than once, and you can also overlap them as well. Let's have it right up there. We might lose part of it when I cut it out. Or put a frame around it, whatever I do. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, as I said. Look at that. Nice, isn't it? What should we do next? Oh, we've got some really nice numbers. I'm sticking with this colour at the moment and I need to swap colours. I will do a different colour in a minute. We could have that border. Well, we don't know how big it's going to be, do we? Let's have the watermark kind of things. We might do a couple of these. Obviously when you've got the collage stamps, you've got it all in one colour. Obviously you can put different colours on it, but each individual bit is a different colour. But here you can make your mind up and change colours, and I think that's quite cool. This is Baby Pink Versafine Clair, and we both on Honeypot and my website we've got the Versafine Clair in stock because we like them. Let's have that up there. I'll have another one as well because we can, and we'll have it coming off of the clock. So that's quite a cool thing to do, and it's a little bit splodgy as well, which is it's cool. Let's have 3 of these because we can. Let's have another one. Oh, where to put it? That's the thing. Where to put it? There. Okay. That's our watermark thingies. Thingy what's it? I'm hoping the colours don't merge into each other and we don't get like hairy lines, like sometimes get hairy fairy legs, which winds me up a treat. Let's have a look. What else have we got? We've got oh, splats and numbers. I do like a good splat. I think the splats might have to be in black though. Do we do splats in black? No, let's do splats in the Sand Dune. I haven't got a green one stamping. Maybe I'll get avocado out. I do love a good splat. Really cool. I must have so many splats in on all my stamps. So I mean, if I took this is not a square die, this is a rectangle die, but if we took that, you could see that could be what we end up with, which is quite nice. Obviously we haven't coloured it in and we haven't revealed the mask yet, taken the mask off yet, but you know, just see where you're working to. Let's have a look. Oh, I've got those nice numbers as well. So I think what we'll do is we will bring in, can't make my mind up about avocado, so we might have to stamp it, and then I think the numbers would be really good in the pink. Baby pink. And again, they could be a bit grungy, so it doesn't matter if they're not perfect. It's a good idea if they're perhaps up the right way. Map the mask a bit. I think I'm just going to have 2 numbers. Yeah, that'll do. It definitely doesn't want to be on there, does it? It's a lot of fun doing this, especially when you get a new stamp set. Because you think, what on earth can I do? And you just play, that's what you do. Right, let's get the avocado. I'm going to bring in avocado. I think it's this one I want. Or do I want that one instead? Do I want Shady Lane? Let me have a look. I want something that's going to look okay with the bundled sage. That's a bit dark, isn't it, that one? Avocado. That's a bit bright. What else have I got? Oh, we've got grass green as well. That's very bright. So I think we're going to go with Shady Lane. Actually. Just test it on here. Because I've done so much work on it, I don't want to ruin it. It's a little bit darker, but let's go with it. I do quite like it. Of course, I could have stamped with bundled sage distress oxide as well, but I haven't got my oxides out to start with. Let's have another one. Okay, got 3 of those. I'm going to stop soon because otherwise we'll just overdo it. You stop when you want to stop. There's no rules at all. I do want a bit of script, if I can find a bit of script. And there's not really any script on this one, so I do have another set. Where is it? Here. Have we got script on this one? We've only got script with the flower. We have got a bee. We've got hearts. We've got 2 bees actually, a silhouette bee as well. We've got those wavy lines. I'll stick with the 1 stamp set because then it's not like, oh, you must buy this stamp set. It's nice to see the potential that you can get from this particular stamp set. So let's go for this tour on here, this border. And the best way to get these on your block straight is to actually pop them on your mat and then pick them up, rather than trying to get them on straight yourself. And this one we're going to do in, let's do it in Sand Dune. Problem with this is getting it straight. So we are going to put this on this line here, like so. And then we're going to use that line to hopefully line it up. Not bad, not bad. And then should we do another one here? Let's do another one there, just to frame it. And then we find out that what we want to cut it out with doesn't fit. It doesn't matter. It's the process. And let's get this straight again, or as near as. And we just have it down here like that. And then I think we'll probably stop, because otherwise it'll be too much. Let's give that a wipe. And see, there's going to be lots and lots of different permutations for you to do, lots and lots of variation in it. So now let's just get that die in. Here's that die. See, that die, that border wouldn't get on at all. Or we could just have part of the border on, or we could have that bit of the border on, or if you think, oh, I didn't stamp that very well, you can go over there. There's no rules as to where you put it, where you cut it out, because if you had it like that, then you've got space there to put a sentiment if you wanted to, or if you had it right over there like that, you could put your sentiment down there. See, you know, play around with it. It's always good to work with a piece of card bigger than you actually need. Let's take this mask off. It makes all the difference when you reveal the mask. Take the mask off, and where's that little bit? There we go. So that's all stamped. So that needs now colouring in. So I need to root around and find some colours. Okay, so I pulled some colours out to use, and I've got this kind of olive green. Don't ask me which sets they're from. I don't know. All mine are in order. And then I've got a lighter olive green, which I think will go quite nice. And then we've got two pinks. We've got a bright pink and a lighter pink. So those should go together. Oh, we probably need a yellow as well. But I'm not going to colour all of it in front of you. I'm just going to start, and then you can see where we're at when it's all coloured in. So I'm going to start with the leaves, and I'm just going to put the watercolour blending brush pens from Sentimentally Yours are brilliant. I have actually just pulled myself a third set out, as in I've got one complete set that I had when I first started working with Phil, which must be, I don't know, I'd like to say about 6 or 7 years old. They are quite, though, for when Trudy's first collection was out, so they are, you know, I've had them quite a while, and they some of those have run out now, but I've used them a lot. They've been used in workshops and regular classes, so loads and loads of people have used them. Obviously I use them for my demos and on TV, so, you know, like I say, I've used them a heck of a lot, and some of them are still going, but some of them have run out. And so I have got a second set, which I've had to now start using for workshops because some of the ones have run out. And so as they are towards the end of their availability, I've pulled myself another set out. So obviously I obviously like them, and people like using them as well, so it makes sense to have them. They are fabulous. I said I wasn't going to do it all in front of you, but here we go. Lots and lots of leaves. So with the darker colour, I've just gone in with that, and then I'm not sure how much you'll pick it up, but this is going to be the lighter colour now filling in, and so we can just go over the top. So they blend with themselves, and they also blend with water as well, and they are super easy to use. They're very forgiving. They've got this really fine tip, I know a lot of you have got these. Bill showed, you know, sold thousands of boxes of these, and obviously I've had 12. But yes, they are fabulous. So that's what you do. You just do that, and obviously this hasn't got any colour underneath it because we masked it off, so this is just the colour as is. Very easy. You could go again with the darker colour again if you wanted to, but I think there's enough difference here to not need to do that. Woof, woof, woof. Can you hear the dog? Not my dog. There's a doggy outside. Right, so there's our leaves. Then we're going to use exactly the same way. We're going to use the dark pink. This is definitely, I'm not doing all this in front of you because there's a lot of these. Unless I talk, of course, a lot. And then I might end up doing them all. So again, I'm just following the lines that Phil's drawn into the stamp, which is like the shade lines. They are fantasy flowers, so they can be whatever colour you want them to be. I'm trying to just stick with the colours that I've used in the background. Okay, it's that one, and then you come with the lighter pink and you just fill in. Just as simple as that. Now, if you've had the watercolour blending brush pens for some time, I really would urge you to get yourself a second set, because there isn't much stock left, and you don't want to find that your favourite pen is no longer available anymore. So we can't say we haven't warned you that the stock is low, as we have. It's like when we tell you that there aren't many dies and you don't listen, and then you want them after they've sold out. I know it's difficult because it's a big ask, isn't it? Because they are considered purchase, but they're tools for life, and you all kick yourselves when you haven't got them. So there's what we're at so far. So I'm going to carry on and colour those in. I'll grab a yellow just very briefly, and where's the yellow? That's the yellow. And we're just, with the centres here, the stamens, we're just going to not mess about, we're just going to do them in yellow. You could add a bit of, if you've got any of the Sakura Stardust pens, a few dots of gold would be quite nice in there. But you can see you can get in with that little tip and colour that in. Okay, I'll carry on colouring in. Okay, so I'm all coloured in and cut out. I've used the Debossed double stitched squares, and you can see I've got away with, because of where I've cut it, I've got away with getting rid of that dirty mark, that inky mark that was on there. So we're going to just highlight the edges a little bit with some Kitsch Flamingo Distress ink, which is just going to be quite light, just to take off some of the white around the edges. Might need to go around it. It's not the same as using an oxide. Go around again just to deepen the colour a wee bit. I can see it. I don't know if you can. You probably can't. It has actually highlighted the stitching on the die cut. Obviously it's optional to go around the edge. You don't have to if you don't want to. Just ties it all in together. I'm very impatient with distress. Is this the third time? This might be the third time. You get a smoother finish with the brushes. All my brushes have got distress ink on them rather than oxide, and you're not meant to mix the two inks on the same brush. Maybe I should get myself a separate set of brushes just for oxides. I might do that. I might treat myself. Okie dokie. So there we are. Let's just edge just very subtly with the Kitsch Flamingo. That's that done. Put that to one side. I want to clean that up so that, oh, I do need to actually, before we do that, before we clean up, not the camera, that's what I do, that's what I do. We do a sentiment and then I can ink around the edges of that as well. We've got some new sentiment sets. These are A6 sets, and these are currently only going to be available from myself, juliewattscrafts.co.uk, and also Honeypot Crafts as well. They're not on the TV at the moment. And it's part of the Just Saying, and this is the Rustic collection, and it's the Magnificent Moments sentiments that we're using. There are 3 sets. Oh, and I don't know if you've noticed, there's a QR code here, and if you scan that, it'll take you to the Sentimentally Yours Facebook page, just in case you're not following it. And there are, on this set, it normally says 23 stamp sets. So it's like the Just Saying that's gone before, but we've got the Rustic typewriter font on there, which was really, really popular. As you can see, lots and lots of stamps on there. So we're gonna just grab, we are gonna grab the thank you so much. And I'm not going to stamp directly onto the top, the topper. I could do. You see, there's a little bit of space up there. There's a little bit of space down there. So if you wanted to, that's fine. But I've occasionally suffered from the Nocturne Versafine Clair bleeding into other colours of Versafine. I don't know why. Specifically on watercolour card. So what we're going to do is we're going to stamp it separately. It's only a little stamp, so I'm not going to bother with a platform. So we're just going to stamp, let that ink go into the card just for a couple of seconds. And then we've got thank you so much. Now don't worry if it looks like you've got a little bit of a blurry bit on the thank you. It's supposed to be there because it's part of the typewriter bits. You can't actually see it so much on the packaging, but don't worry about it. It's you know, when a typewriter gives a little bit of a shadow sometimes, you get that on the stamp. But anyway, that is absolutely fine. And then we are going to, or I have already used the Layer Differently Ornate rectangles, and I've used this little tiny label here in the centre, so the smallest die, and as you can see it fits around that sentiment really well, and it will go around some of the other sentiments as well. So let's have a look what we could have used. Anyways, certainly to you both, but that's part of another one. Well done, definitely, you mean so much. And there's on the other sets as well, it's going to fit in there, and you can use some of the other Layer Differently dies and some of the smaller dies as well. So I've already cut that out. There it is. And we're going to ink around the edges of that again with the Kitsch Flamingo while we've still got a dirty mat. And I think what we'll do actually, because I've got another piece, another layer, and I think I'll ink around the edges of that. We can see this a little bit more, probably because there's no stamping on the background. And I'm alright putting my fingers over it because I stamped it yesterday. So just a little bit of inking, just a little bit of colour. I don't know if you can see it, but it is there, and we'll see it when we put it on our card. You can definitely see it against that. Okay, and then I have got another layer, and we'll just add a little bit of ink around the edges, and then we'll tidy the mat up. I have used, again, it's very extravagant using the watercolour card for a layer. You can use, I think it's the Alabaster White, I think that's the name of it. You can use that one, because it's not the watercolour card is like a pale creamy colour. It's not white, and it's a bit darker than off-white. So I don't like having the watercolour card with white card, but I like to use the watercolour card when I'm colouring in because the ink moves better. It's like swings and roundabouts really, isn't it? Whatever you prefer. If you don't like colouring in, I'll be doing a video that shows you what some ways around of not colouring in. That's the plan anyway. I can never see it. Depends what angle it's at. It looks like there's quite a lot of pink at that edge there. That'll do. Step away from the card, Julia. Right. Where's my lid? There's my lid. Let's do a little bit of tidying up. Doesn't look like there's anything on there, but believe me, if you put a piece of white card on there, you'll definitely see it. A little bit of pale pink on the kitchen roll. Right. Okay, that's that done. So, as I said, we are going to stamp on this layer, but let's get, should we get some layers stuck together first? Yes, let's get these layers stuck together first. So, I've just cut a piece of Olive Grove card, and that's going to go on there like so. And then I've used the Stitch Torn Squares, which I think they're actually out of stock now, but I know a lot of you got them, and then I'm going to put that layer on there. And that works really nicely. So you could put that on. So pretend this is a 6 by 6, I think. Let me have a measure. It's actually 5.5 inches square, so it would go on a 6 by 6 card. So that would make you, if it was straight, a nice 6 by 6 card. But of course it's fill we're doing with, so I am going to add extra layers because I can. So you stop whenever you want to, you stop and you make smaller layers. I could have made this a little bit smaller if I wanted to. Let's see if my glue's working. Or if I need to unbung. It's not. Let me unbung. Okay, hopefully this is running now. I'm getting to the end of this bottle. And I put a date on it somewhere, did I? Yeah, 21st July 24. That's when I opened this bottle. So they do last a long time. And this is the 120ml bottle. I think I'll put it in the lid upside down. Right, okay, so this is going on here. Straight, oh, not too bad. This is where we faff around a bit. Might not be 100% straight because I've used my chopper instead of a die. And then we'll put this, just glue this on here. And then we're going to do a little bit more stamping. I do like the candy pink and the olive grove together. And you find the cardstock over at Honeypot. I don't tend to sell much cardstock because there's a lot of colours. And I find it very difficult to send out fat items. So somebody orders, say, I don't know, a pack of card, and then a tub of the PVA glue, and I don't know, what's it called, embossing glaze, a distress embossing glaze. So you've got 2 fat items and 1 item that you really want to be flat, and yeah, I struggle sending that out. And I worry that it's going to turn up in decent condition. So anyway, that's get those from Honeypot. So this is the inked size. And I'm going to go to my sand dune, and I'm going to just, there's only going to be, this again, there's only going to be a smallish border, but I think it'd be nice to stamp around the edges. And the sand dune is the colour that I've used in the background there, but it's not in any of the layers. Look how these borders just fitted bright. It's like I planned it. I didn't. You watch me. I didn't plan it at all, but it was just luck. It was just luck that it turned out so well. Right, so let's go back into, I mean, we could use again a stencil, but we're going to, I think we're going to use some stamps, or a stamp. Might use more than one. So first of all, we're going to use this, should we use that one? I do really like that one. Let's use this one. I might use both. Use one of these postmarks, and as I said, you can use the postmark Paraphernalia, which I do still have stock of. That will work perfectly with the Florascript collection, which is what we're dealing with now. Do I want to have my mat underneath? Do you know what? We will. We'll have our mat underneath, because I've got my piece of paper as well, so that's going to keep my desk clean. And then I won't have to do any tidying up. Win-win, win-win-win-win. I do have these papers in stock, I think, on my website. If not, I will get some more. I've run out of stamping platforms at the moment, but I will get some more of those in. So let's stamp this with the, you could just do it in your fingers if you want to do it a bit quicker. It doesn't just stamp around the edges. We won't, like I say, we won't see much of it. And we'll just do like that. What's that mark there? Oh, it's alright, it's a bit of fluff. Phew. You had a bit of a panic. Let's just do a little bit off the edge there, like that. And then remember, you don't want to necessarily turn it around because it'll be all upside down. So we just do, every now and again, we do this side up here. We'll do like the top. And we do along the top there. And we need to go the other side. Oh, there's a bit too much ink there. See much of that, are we? Maybe I'll move it across a bit. That's what we do. Like that. Remember, we won't see much of the inside. That'll do. That's fine. I do like doing this. A happy place. What should we have now? Some else from here. So I'm sticking with the Beautiful Blooms Paraphernalia, just so we're not flitting around from lots of different ones. Oh, I like the clock. We could use the clock, couldn't we? Or we could use those. Clock. Let's have these. Will that go on here? That's going to be quicker. Actually, that's going to fit in nicely. Perfect. perfect. That's all we need. All we need. And we've already inked around the edges. Well, I've already inked around the edges. So this is good to go as a layer. Let's move that out of the way. So this is going to go on, again, we've got Olive Grove and Candy Pink. Not sure what foam tape I've got left, if any. I didn't think that through. I might have to emergency order some. Get that straight and evenish. Again, it's been cut with a chopper, so it's never going to be as straight as using a die. And this one's going to go on there as well. So this is where we're making that 6x6 card into something much bigger. There's a lump of glue there, that can go in the middle. But as I said, you can stop when you want to. Sure that's the right way up. I think it's that way, isn't it? Yeah, it's that way. That looks pretty good. Press some of that. And then we want some foam tape. Go for 2mm. And this is Woodware foam tape. Can't get any more because Creative Expressions are in the process of closing. Haven't been able to get any Woodware foam tape for months. But there's lots of foam tape out and about there. I'm going to have to find a new brand. So this is going to go on our backing card, and our back card, I have a measure for you. This is 6.5 inches, so that's going to go on a 7x6 card. So it's still not a mahoosive one. It's not an 8x8. So you have the options to stop as a 6x6. Or do a 7x7, and if you aim to Phil Martin, you probably go up to an 8x8 because there'll probably be another 3 layers on top of this. And if you want to do that, then you can just ink around the edges of this, and then, you know, stamp again if you want to, or stencil. So there's lots of different options. Let's get this the right way. That's that way. Oh, let's do the thing with the prick. Oh, sorry, not the camera. Again. What am I like? Try and get the top off the prick. That's there. There we go. Now this will mean that I can actually move the tape. This was something I think Paul Church showed me years and years and years ago. It must be 15 years or so ago. But it does mean that you can move it, because if you just put a bit of glue on, you're not covering the whole of the area, are you? I'm upside down again. Right, let's have a look around the camera. On my tiptoes. That looks pretty good. I'll bring the other layer out. And we'll put some tape on here. Again, 2mm tape. Where's my scissors? There. Won't be as many videos, I don't think, of this collection as there was when we did the previous collection, which was the Charlie 2 die collection. just because we're very tight for time. But of course there might be videos after the release as well. I don't know, it depends what time I've got and how much stock I've got left. But I think this collection is one that you're going to be able to use for lots of different occasions, and you know, over the years you're going to find that it's going to be really useful. And you could use it with the original Flora Musica as well, which had lots of different flowers on that. They were more stylised towards proper flowers, whereas these are more fantasy flowers. Again, we do the Pritt thing. And then pop this on. See if I can get this straight. Just that bit of stamping around. You don't see much of it, but it just gives a bit of interest, and it ties it in with the colour in the centre. Fabulous. Now obviously it's optional whether you want to use a sentiment or not, but I am going to put thank you so much. I think I'm going to put it up there. I think that works like that. So I think for that we might go down to a bit of 1mm foam tape. And again, a bit of Pritt. Again, I'll stand up so I can see whether I'm going to get it straight or not. Let's have it about there. And I can use the edge of the card to line it up. I think that's good. Happy with that. There you go. Not too deep. Only a couple of layers there on it, and as I said, stop there if you want to do a 6x6, and then that'll be a 7x7, and if you want to do a fill card you can add another 3 layers on as well. But I hope you've enjoyed that. There's a full list in the description of the video as to what I've used. As I said, you'll find the products over on my website juliawattscrafts.co.uk. Remember, the sentiments are exclusive to myself and to Honeypot Crafts. And then also at honeypotcrafts.co.uk, as I said, the sentiments are on there as well, and you'll find the stencils as well. And also you will find the new stamps and stencils available at Hobby Maker on Wednesday the 19th of February. But get your pre-orders in now, because we don't know how long they're going to be hanging around, and I doubt if Phil will reorder once they've gone. So do like and subscribe on my YouTube channel. There's lots and lots of videos on there, and there will be some more videos with this collection coming up. I hope you've enjoyed it, and thank you for watching.